If you have a hot drink, how do you make it cold? Well, one way would be to add ice cubes. But how do ice cubes make the liquid in your drink cold? The answer becomes clear when you understand thermal energy, which is the energy that comes from heat. In fact, the word thermal refers to heat, so you can think of thermal energy as heat energy. Thermal energy is produced by the movement of molecules in an object. You see, all objects are made up of tiny particles called molecules. In cold things, like ice cubes, the molecules move very slowly. In hot things, like a hot drink, the molecules move very fast. The faster the molecules are moving inside an object, the hotter the object will be. So, when you put ice cubes into your hot drink, they absorb the heat energy from the drink, which melts the ice and cools the drink. Thermal energy transfers or moves between objects in three ways: radiation, conduction, and convection. Let's look at what these words mean and some examples of each. Radiation is how something gains heat without touching the heat source. It's how planet Earth stays warm. The sun radiates thermal energy, and the Earth absorbs it. Radiation is also why you can warm your hands by a campfire. You don't have to be touching a fire to feel its heat. That's because fire radiates thermal energy. When you hold your hands near the flames, your cooler hands absorb the heat and warm up. Conduction is how thermal energy is transferred between two objects that are touching. If your hands are cold, you can warm them up by holding a warm mug of hot chocolate. The heat energy from the mug is conducted directly into your cold fingers, which warms them up. Did you ever hear someone say that hot air rises? That's convection, which is what happens when heat moves through gases and liquids. You've seen an example of convection if you've ever watched a pot of water boil. When water boils, bubbles form on the bottom of the pot, where the temperature is the hottest, and then rise to the cooler area at the top of the pot. Convection is also what helps big birds rise in the air without flapping their wings. Warm air rises from the ground into the sky, creating currents. As the bird glides through the air, it hits a pocket of warm air, which pushes it up into the sky. Thermal energy is the energy that comes from heat. It moves between objects in three different ways. Radiation is when heat transfers to something without touching it, like the sun radiates heat to the earth. Conduction is the transfer of heat between two objects that are touching. And convection is what happens when heat moves through gases and liquids.